Hi, everybody. I'm Professor Erin Roselle. I teach public relations courses in the Department of Media and Communication. In addition to teaching and research, I also am a practitioner. I handle media relations for clients, and I have done so for over 10 years now. And one of my clients is Black Button Distilling, located in Rochester, New York. And I thought I would talk to you a little bit about Black Button's ability to pivot during the COVID-19 crisis. First, Black Button was founded in 2012 by third-generation entrepreneur Jason Barrett when he was just 24 years old. It's the first grain-to-glass craft distillery in Rochester since Prohibition. Black Button Distilling has gone on to win multiple awards from industry leaders, tasting experts, and consumers. But like a lot of business owners, Jason wasn't prepared for a global pandemic when he first developed his business plan. So when the governor called on the state's businesses to voluntarily close to stop the spread of the coronavirus, Black Button Distilling was complying and began to shut down its manufacturing plant. Internally, discussions took place about how they could shift the company's operations from making spirits to making hand sanitizer. And within 48 hours, the hand sanitizer ingredients had been sourced, as did the packaging. The building of systems was ready to go, and ordering and shipping were planned out, and they had made a test batch of hand sanitizer. That's 48 hours. That's unbelievably fast. And then within a week, Black Button went from bottling 1,000 bottles of their spirits to making more than 30,000 bottles of hand sanitizer in 1 week. So I have handled their media relations since 2014, a couple of years after they began. And I know a good story when I see one. And I knew that this was a good news story in the midst of a lot of really bad news because of the pandemic. So Black Button was the first distillery in the state to produce hand sanitizer, which made this an interesting story for the news and really stood out. So we crafted a press release that went out to local, regional, and national, as well as spirits industry publications about the fact that Black Button was pivoting and creating hand sanitizer. And it was going to be for Rochester area hospitals and at-risk community groups. As soon as the press release went out, the media calls began rolling in. But because of this new coronavirus environment we were living in, the speed and the volume of incoming requests with social distancing and mandatory work from home orders presented some challenges that we had to deal with. Email was really slow as a channel of communication. So we sped up our ability to respond to the media and to communicate internally with each other by using text messages. And of course, all television interviews were conducted via Zoom, or if they were on camera, they were done with the reporter 6 feet away. And all of this was nothing we had ever done before, not just Black Button, but it wasn't what was going on before. The nature of the coronavirus outbreak and Black Button's quick introduction of an entirely new product also meant that information was ever evolving, both about the coronavirus and about the new hand sanitizer that was being created. So we had to constantly communicate with each other in order to provide the media with emerging details about the availability of the hand sanitizer, its manufacturing process, the ingredients, the cost, and ordering information. So we had lots of coverage. All major Rochester-based television stations, local newspapers, and radio stations covered the story, and many, if not most of them, covered it more than once. News outlets in surrounding markets also picked up the story, and so did national business and spirits industry publications. We also had op-eds placed and even a celebrity endorsement. All in all, if we were to have measured the impact of this media based on ad value, it would have been about $1.6 million in advertisements. Our earned media coverage strategy proved successful. At this point, Black Button Distilling is the largest manufacturer of hand sanitizer in the state of New York. So this opportunity was one that I will be sharing with my students, and I look forward to telling them more about what went on behind the scenes in terms of media outreach and public relations for a local business that has really done good during the coronavirus. So if you want to learn more, take some of my public relations classes, and I hope to see you there. Thanks.